Hi, I'm Nico. I'm a 55-year-old French-American. Moved to the US about 30 years ago after meeting Susan. My story with mental health started in my early 20s. After a road bike accident, I started having panic attacks and eventually got diagnosed with major depression, complex PTSD, and panic attacks and severe anxiety. I tried close to every therapy under the sun over the past 30 plus years, including, of course, talk therapy, EMDR, CBT, about 14 different kinds of SSRIs, antidepressants, anti-anxiety medicines. And nothing really worked, and I was eventually diagnosed with treatment-resistant major depression. Susan also had her own encounters with mental health issues after she gave birth to our second child, dealing with severe anxiety as part of her postpartum.
After our second child was born, I found that I had a bulging disc. I was in severe pain, and so I went to my doctor, standard conventional practice, and I was prescribed Vicodin and Valium, which left me laid out on the couch. I didn't feel I was in my own body. I was suffering physically and also mentally. I started having severe panic attacks on a constant daily basis for months on end.
Eventually, my doctor started talking to me about doing electroconvulsive therapy, which was a no-go for me. I was not going to do that. So I started thinking about what else was out there. And after researching for a while, I stumbled upon psychedelic-assisted therapy, the research conducted by MAPS, particularly around PTSD with MDMA. And that took me down the rabbit hole. I started studying everything on the subject and all of the other psychedelics and the types of therapies that can, and the type of ailments that they can help with. I spent a long time, about 9 months, talking to medical professionals, friends, professionals in the field, and a lot of time with Susan to make sure that I had the support if I was going to go down that path.
I didn't go looking for psychedelics. Psychedelics found me through my husband and the research that he was doing. When Nico came to me and said that he was considering doing this after doing quite a bit of research, I think it was about a year plus at that point, I was nervous. I didn't know very much about it, so I started diving in. We would talk about it. It took some time, but I knew that he needed something, and this was sounding more and more promising. So I took on the role of support.
As I was doing that research, what really resonated with me were the statistics, the facts published in science journals and so on around the effectiveness of those therapies. For example, the best therapies out there, both talk therapy with medication to treat PTSD, is between 40 to 45% effective at best. MDMA for PTSD, research conducted by MAPS, shows complete remission from PTSD for 70% of the cases after just 3 sessions over the course of 3 months. And 90% of the patients show significant or noticeable improvement. When you look at those facts, it's quite compelling, especially when you see the state of mental health in this country. Every hour, a veteran takes their life because of mental health issues. And people that are on these largely ineffective SSRIs treatments have to stay on those medicines for years and years with all the side effects. And when you see that you can go through psychedelic-assisted therapy and have a very high chance of being treated after just a few months of sessions is quite incredible. So I eventually had my first MDMA journey back in early 2020 with a very experienced therapist, and I never looked back. From that day on, I never took another antidepressant. That first experience was one of many and took me down a self-discovery path around analyzing the roots of my mental health issues, around my trauma, but also around my belief system and my examining my place in this world. And eventually it showed me my purpose, which is helping others. And through a lot of self-reflection and more journeys, I realized that my purpose was to leverage one of the best jobs that Susan and I had together back almost 25 years ago as concierge back in the San Francisco Bay Area. It was a very rewarding job, and we thought, how do we marry that we loved and are very good at, and this newfound mission of helping others. And this is how we decided to start this venture. This is our purpose-filled mission to help everyone, or as many people as we can, with these technologies, as they are becoming more and more available to everyone.